Welcome to this episode of Diaspora Scholars TV, where we bring you stories about the journeys of students and scholars who've left their motherland to come to the US to study, to pursue their careers, and much more. But when they come to the US, they meet professors and other mentors who really mentor them into their career. So today I'm excited to be at Youngstown State University at the chemistry department to meet Professor Linkas. I hope I said that one right.
Pretty close on it, yes.
So nice to meet you, and on this Saturday winter evening. But I mean, it's exciting. You are still in office. I mean, right now working.
Hey, tomorrow, final exam is on Monday.
Okay.
Somebody has to write it.
Somebody has to write it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, yeah. Thank you so much for welcoming us to the office. I know it was on short notice, but I'm glad you can do this interview. Somebody told me go to Youngstown State University, particularly chemistry department, and you'll be able to meet some not only professors but African students.
Yes.
So tell us, you are the chair of the department?
Well, no, I'm just I'm in the I guess materials analytical science division
Okay.
here at in the chemistry department,
Hmm.
and we have just over the years, I guess word has gotten out. We maybe a decade ago, we only had a handful of African students, but as time has passed and students have graduated, then they've brought their stories home, either
Yeah.
either on foot or via the email, and so and we just have a master's program in chemistry, but many of them have gone on to other American universities and gotten a PhD. Right, it's like that fellow over there, and so what?
Yeah, that you mean Dr. James somewhere? Yeah.
And so I guess the number of success stories has snowballed, and so now we have a significant contingent of African students coming to us each year.
Oh, wow. So you say over the years, do you recall the time when this department started admitting African students? You have a fake idea or vague idea of
Oh,
when?
gee,
Maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago?
yeah, we've had just I'm saying I've only been here 15 years.
Oh,
I mean, I may look old, but I haven't been here
you are
that
not
long.
old at all. I mean, I like the way you say just 15 years, but I mean, you work really, really hard and smart as well. I mean, I was telling James when you were coming, like, are you sure we're going to find him in the office? I mean,
Yeah, the last week of the semester, yeah, you'll find me in the office. The exam to write. Right, semester ended just yesterday, so
okay.
lots of lab reports to grade, and then making arrangements to conclude the close down the academic lab and grade the exams. So a lot of grading.
A lot of grading for sure. So you say they have been coming over the years. So maybe 15. I mean, in those 15 years when you came, you found some
I
African.
think it has expanded. It
Okay.
has expanded. There was just a couple 15 years ago, and now I would say nearly half of our incoming graduate students are from Africa.
Did you just say half?
Yes.
Half of the incoming students are from Africa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if you throw in the Nigerians,
Nigerians,
and the
Ghanaians,
and then the Kenyans,
the
yeah,
Kenyans.
that it'll get us up to about half.
That, oh my God! I mean, that's quite impressive. And viewers, if you are watching, we are at Youngstown State University Chemistry Department to meet Professor Linkhurst. He just told us that 50% of the incoming students are from Africa. If you are watching from Africa, you want to be able to try Youngstown State University, where you'll find a lot of support from professors like Professor Linkhurst, who has been here 15 years. He's still going strong. He's still in the office on a Saturday, on a cold winter evening, grading lab reports and setting exams for next week and far much more. What makes you think African students succeed here?
Well, I think we are different. We're not really a top 10 university, but at a top 10 university, it's very competitive, and the professors are very busy. And so if you're smart enough to get into a good school, well, that's fine. But the price you pay, though, is that you've got to get through your curriculum and your research kind of on your own.
Mm-hmm.
The professor is always writing grants and going to meetings,
Oh.
and has a huge, will
Mm-hmm.
have maybe 10 postdocs in his group.
Uh-huh.
And so he has precious little time if you got a problem
So that
to deal with.
one-on-one interaction kind of here looks like is very high
Right,
because yeah.
right. I mean, the lab is right through that wall.
Oh,
So if
okay.
a student has a problem, he just walks around and comes around and gets me. So uh, having to call and make an appointment and that kind of stuff. Well, no, anytime,
And it-
especially for grad student research, I
yeah.
always set that as a priority. The
Mm-hmm.
grad student has a problem. They only have so much time, uh, while their assistantship is good to do their work. And so I always put that at the top of the list. If a grad student has a problem, he comes to my door. I immediately go and
Hmm.
see what the problem is, because
Wow.
sometimes just 30 seconds will be enough
Yeah.
to straighten things out.
Hmm.
And at that point, then they're flying again, maybe for another week or two. So yes, that's been my philosophy, is that when grad students get stuck, try to unstick them as quickly as possible, because
Wow.
the clock is ticking, and right, it takes a lot of work. You have to spend a lot of time in the lab to get good results and,
Mm-hmm.
and publishable results. So
Publishable results, you say.
yeah,
Amazing. Wow. I keep on thinking, I mean, I have to say it one more time. It's a Saturday evening. Professor just said, like, you have to be available to particularly the grad students and who are just across the wall, who can come in anytime and he's available. So that's one thing that you need to consider while choosing a school. And Youngstown State University is just proving that it can actually deliver to exactly just that. I have to ask you this because I've been a student myself, and I did graduate. I have a PhD in biochemistry myself, and over the years, I've really been encouraged by professors who've been in academia for quite a while, and I keep wondering what inspires them. What really makes them keep going. For you, Professor Linkhurst, I mean, what is that thing that you wake up every morning and you say, I'm gonna go back to that lab? I mean, I figure you can make a choice right now to
right,
retire,
yeah.
but you keep coming. What is that thing?
Well, I guess there's probably two issues. One is the focus of my research is typically energy science,
Yes.
and worldwide we're consuming nearly 600 quadrillion BTUs of energy every year, which is quite
Okay.
an order. And so the basically we cannot subsist on fossil fuel energy forever.
No, we
And so
cannot.
we have to develop other means, renewable means. And so that's always been a major aspect of my research.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we have an energy problem at some level, I'm motivated to keep working on it and see what I can do, what we can do as a research group
Yeah.
to develop that new technology that's necessary. And the other is just the success stories. Students coming in my door,
Yeah.
not knowing a whole lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we put them to work and coursework and in the lab, and just one question at a time, one issue at a time. We work it through. They get better. They build on what they learn, and finally they get a degree that which they can then use either for private sector or for their academic work.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing them succeed, just seeing the success stories, right,
Just seeing
means
them.
that I can
Mm-hmm.
means that my work here was worth something,
For sure,
to,
it is
to,
worth
to see
something.
the students succeed.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, you talk about, your research area, in matters, to do with energy. You gave a number there that I'm not so sure whether my viewers will remember 600 BTUs.
Quadrillion BTUs.
600 quadrillion BTUs.
Yes, that's 10 to the 15th.
10 to the 15th. James, you didn't warn me that I was going to learn. Yeah, so yeah, I want you to talk a little bit about your research because sometimes, this is an opportunity. There'll be many viewers, watching, particularly from Africa and the rest of the world, and it's an opportunity to be able to talk a little bit about your research. What is this other thing that you want to be able to maybe want students to, be able to join your team to work on? Because some students in Africa, they reach out to the Kenya scientists
Right,
in diaspora
right.
because we are a non-profit, and students reach out to us and they tell us, could you tell us about the kind of work the professors are doing? So I want you to take a moment to talk about that kind of research and, to tell them like why they should be interested in that particular work you're working on right now.
Right. Well, I would say I'm an electrochemist by training.
Hmm.
And so, why that is important to energy is that we live in a world where most of our energy comes from basically comes from the enthalpy change of chemical reactions.
Hmm.
That basically combustion of organic materials is the fundamental way that we generate electricity and
Hmm.
we drive our cars and whatnot.
And drive everything,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, there is another way to do it, though. You can release that free energy doing electrochemistry.
Hmm.
And in fact, it's been shown that electrochemistry is a more efficient way to extract energy from a chemical system to
And
generate
also
that,
it produces
as
less
opposed
pollutant,
to
maybe, yeah.
combustion or heat engine type
Hmm.
physics. And so we've tried to apply that, and I suppose the two major applications is one has to do with electric vehicles.
Mm.
Lithium-ion battery technology is the leading technology, but another related technology has to do with using hydrogen
Yes.
as an energy source.
Hmm.
And so both the electrochemistry of consuming hydrogen, not in a flame, but at an electrode surface, and also storing hydrogen instead of
Mm.
as a gas, storing it in a solid state
Oh,
is an important
in
issue.
a solid state. Hmm.
Yes, well, that gentleman over there was deeply involved in
Oh, okay.
storing the storage of hydrogen in the solid state,
Hmm.
and so that so that's one aspect is basically
Mm.
helping to develop electric vehicle technology.
Mm.
The other one has to do with solar energy conversion.
Yeah.
And basically, we have right now photovoltaic cells are mainly based on silicon technology, but there are many other semiconductors that can be applied for different applications. And so, developing semiconductors and corresponding photovoltaic cells
Hmm.
as a way of directly converting sunlight to electricity
Hmm.
or using sunlight to drive chemical reactions to make high energy chemicals, high energy compounds, such as hydrogen, it
Hmm.
would be the other aspect. So, doing photoelectrochemical water decomposition to make the hydrogen that you would then run in your fuel cell
Hmm.
driven vehicle. That's kind of uh, my vision or
Mm.
a lot of people's vision
Mm.
of the solar hydrogen economy,
Wow.
where our energy comes from the sun. In fact, I had a student, a Kenyan student,
A Kenyan student?
gave a seminar just
You
yesterday.
know, what is his name? I mean,
Her name
her name,
is Lydia Marora.
Lydia Marora.
Yeah,
She's working on this
she's working on photovoltaics. Yes,
photovoltaics.
and
Hmm.
one stat that she put in her talk was that the sun delivers 10,000 times more energy to Earth than all of humankind consumes in a year.
Mm.
So all we have to do is figure out how to convert 0.01% of the sunlight striking the Earth, and it would supply all of our energy needs.
Did you just say 0.01%?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, that's something to really worth working on, because for sure, as you say, the fossil fuels are pollutants, and not to mention that are gonna get depleted over time. Some people argue that they even a cause of wars. I mean, fighting over
That's
these
right. Yeah.
resources. But I was going to ask you this related to that. Some people also have argued that well, in an effort to conserve the environment, where we don't want to use fossil fuels, lithium is also a mineral that is going to be mined,
Right.
and also for some reason probably also bring some kind of pollution or deplete the natural environment. What's that counter argument about?
Well, certainly they need to, the original lithium batteries were
Mm-hmm.
lithium thionyl chloride batteries.
Yes.
And for those, the lithium was very difficult to recycle.
Mm.
And also, it was a primary battery. Once you were done with it, it
Oh.
was dead. You couldn't recharge it. Nowadays, lithium-ion batteries are rechargeable. And there's just you can't have a consistent, reliable energy technology if you don't have rechargeable
Mm.
batteries. So at the end of life for one of these batteries, you have to be able to open it up and recover the lithium, and then recast it as electrode materials and make a new battery.
Mm-hmm.
That much is true. So just as and the same as with fuel cells. Fuel cells typically we use platinum catalyst in its electrodes, and so that platinum is expensive, and you'll have to recycle it.
Mm.
So battery recycling will be a major business of the future. We just can't afford to toss them in the landfill anymore.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing. I mean, I can talk to you the whole day, and I'm really impressed at what this department is doing, what Youngstown State University is doing. And you just mentioned about a Kenyan student, Lydia Marora, who gave a talk yesterday. We'll be following up to, talk to Lydia as well to inspire the next generation of scholars to come to Youngstown State University. And we can't thank you more for giving us your time. But a parting shot that you can have to be able to tell not only the young men and women who want to come here, but also to be able to share your thoughts to other, professors out there in terms of how they can mentor African students. What are your thoughts or some, parting shots or something you can share on how they can be able to mentor, African students?
I guess I would say we try hard to be even-handed here. We don't care where you come from. If if you're ready, if you have some talent and
And
you've
you are
studied
and you are
hard
and you are
and you
ready to
have good
work.
credentials
Mm-hmm.
and you apply to the school, don't be afraid to apply. The worst that can happen is we say no, but we may say yes. At
Yeah.
which point, then you can come and we can uh, try to train you as a chemist or whatever discipline you'd be interested in.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What do you do when you're not doing chemistry? What do you do if you're not doing chemistry?
Well, my wife likes to dance.
Okay.
We do a good waltz and a good swing and a
Uh-huh.
good and a rumba. We
Uh-huh.
can we can uh, we like to go to dance events.
Mm-hmm. To
That's
dance
how
it.
that's how I won the homecoming not homecoming but prom king and queen award that you saw
You,
that
you, you
picture.
won the prom king and queen
That's
award.
because we were the mean dancers. So they'd played old fashioned music that the young kids couldn't dance to. They didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
But we knew what a waltz
We knew what it
was.
was about.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, well, wonderful. Viewers, you can dance even if you are a chemist. It was nice talking to Professor
And,
Linkers. Nice to talk to you. And I mean, for sure, we are really impressed by this department. I thank you so much and keep doing what you are doing.
thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.